Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, our dear viewers, whoever is watching us, wherever you're watching us from. It's been a while, but we're here. Today we're discussing a little bit more of Africa and some little bit politics. Introducing my
All right.
co-analyst, Mr. Emmanuel Wadiaula. Good our viewers, we continue.
Those are the only descriptions can go on me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, whoever watching us.
Yes.
It is a privilege to get you back here on the podcast again. I'm called Emmanuel Wadiaura, former chairman of C5 validity contestant who didn't go through, and currently MP contestant for EALA, East Africa
Legislative Assembly.
representing Uganda. So I want to appreciate and welcome each and everyone watching us. We are going to have a glimpse of what's happening in the world and a few of things we are going to have discuss about. And hey, we come up with 3-6 of what we need to share and educate and inform the world what's going on.
True. But first things first, we've seen what is transpiring all over Africa and the globe. Besides World Cup, we are seeing the xenophobia movement in South Africa. A lot of African countries have deported their citizens back to the country. Call the likes of Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda of recent. Citizens are getting back to their country. But before, you as an analyst, a political analyst, and a commentarian, an investigative journalist, you know this much.
Yes.
That's why I hosted you today. You give us a 360 from the genesis of xenophobia, where it is.
Okay.
We are moving on the three things. Is it political, economical, or culture and tradition?
Wow, thank you very much, Paul, for hosting me again on the Penrate podcast. I'm so humbled to be back on the podcast. It has been quite a long time without me not appearing on any show anyway.
Yes.
Reason being, I've been so busy doing a lot of things. Of course, you remember I just came back from the politics, which I lost.
I understand. Yes.
The district, and currently I have a lot I'm doing. Of course, people of Uganda, they want to trust me and send me to EALA, that is East African Legislative Assembly. Where I want to probably sit and I think represent the Ugandan youth, the Ugandan new innovative skills and everything. The Gen Zs of Kenya and Uganda and everywhere.
Yes.
So at the moment we have a lot we are going to be discussing. So we just need to pay to have some time for about that. So what you need to know is, of course, we have a talk of the day which is happening in South Africa. If you can briefly or really know what is what had ever happened in South Africa. South Africa is currently navigating a wave. Is currently navigating a wave of a nationwide anti-immigrant protest.
Yes.
And the related unrest in the country.
I get.
Whereby the citizens or the nationals are demanding foreigners to leave their country. People who are not nationals. So whereby you are going to see there is a lot of demonstrators have mobilized to demand the departure of foreign nationals, leading to clashes with police in major cities like Pretoria. Talk about Pretoria. The situation remains highly volatile as the government plans to do some reshuffles in the major cities like Pretoria in South Africa.
Yes.
We have seen many countries sending off, of course, taking their citizens. If you can talk about Uganda, so far Uganda has picked over 270 citizens to return to Uganda. We have seen Nigeria. There is a one common businessman, Nigerian businessman,
Yes.
whom they shot. Reason being because he's a foreign national in South Africa. when you want to talk about South Africa in Africa has a very rich history.
Yes, yes.
If you can start knowing, if you know the history of South Africa,
Yes.
talk about the Rhodesia and of course the Rhodesia and what happened, like the apartheid.
Apartheid.
What happened in South Africa. Of course, if you're talking about South Africa, you cannot at all. You cannot even forget the likes of Nelson Mandela, the great fathers of the African leaders. So we want to say South Africa is under a siege of nationals who are demanding foreign nationals to leave their country for the reasons which are not that so closed. So in the aspect you asked about, are they political, are they social, or are they
economical,
they're traditional? So now I think we can start with a traditional aspect.
Yes.
You want to know that Rhodesia was mixed and was built on different races, whereby if in South Africa you get a percentage of 12% of white people who came from
the Dutch,
the Dutch, yes, from people who come from the Dutch.
Netherlands,
Netherlands. So these people have occupied a big part of South Africa, and they have a big say in South Africa. And there is some preliminary information going on that they may be the one who are instilling this violences, so that the South Africans chase some of the African nationals, foreign nationals in the country, so that maybe these they are called the Boers, okay? These white white settlers, the Boers in South Africa. You need to know that these white settlers in South Africa, they even have their own currency.
True.
Yes, they even have their own currency.
I didn't know about that.
They even have specificities for them, so whereby they don't want black Africans to appear.
Yes.
So the reason comes because for us Africans, we have been developed in a mindset of humanitarianism and togetherness.
Yes.
Whereby if you receive your fellow African, you cannot chase or kill your fellow African. It's beyond repair to see a fellow South African or a fellow African killing a fellow African. I really condemn it to a highest order of discipline. Of course, people who are not thinking about the future history. Yes, please.
So we look at the scenario of people who are dying, and the deportation of other people to their respective countries of origin. Let's base on that, and we see what direction are other African countries taking.
What you need to know is, of course, South Africa has been isolated by its fellow African countries. Talk about what happened in the World Cup. Remember, the first match was in South Africa and Mexico.
Yes.
And most of the people supported Mexico. Mexico is in the Southern America. Okay. Why were most of the Africans supporting Mexico than South Africa? Because their country has exhibited what we call the bad mannerism of their fellow Africans. Someone could pose a question: if they are chasing the fellow Africans at this moment, why wouldn't have chased those white settlers who came in the Arabs, live along the Arabs, but those white settlers like the Boers who settled there in the early 20s, 30s, and 40s. So this is what we call myopic thinking, and I agree with some of the countries. Let's say like Botswana. Botswana has closed its border, no entry of any South African business in their country. If you talk about Mozambique has also started disallowing and chasing the businesses which are in their country, which are owned by the South Africans. I happened yesterday to watch my favorite Rastarian, Mzee Msira. Big up, shout out to you, Mzee Msira. Is one of the best Pan-Africans and one of the best so far legislators who have come out to criticize the government of South Africa, who have come out to even demand for who have come out to demand for all South African businesses here in Uganda to also go. Reason being, of course, they are also relating to what is happening in South Africa. But to my little common sense, I would wish to say South Africa wouldn't be the country to dismiss some of the African countries.
Yes.
Because if you talk about Uganda, talk about Nigeria,
Yes.
talk about Ghana, and all the African countries participated much to the independence of South Africa. Yeah, so that because through the participation of, let's say, Uganda, like the East African countries, the Central and Western African countries, they contributed a lot to that independence, whereby they provided arms and other things up to when the apartheid policy was almost ended. So it is really madness to see your fellow African and you murder or kill your fellow African just because you have your hidden agendas of a white or a Western world. What we need to know is South Africa is now losing. Talk about South Africa in the World Cup. No one supported South Africa, and it deserved it. Reason being, you cannot chase your African person and you expect your fellow African person to support you.
Yeah.
Secondly, I personally agree with every country. I've seen Nigerians have also started chasing the South African nationals, their countries. And where is this going to end? You know, when you chase me in your home, you don't expect me to also welcome you in my home.
Yes. Okay.
What we need to do is, we as Africans, we have that we have that mindset of humanity. Where did the humanity go into us Africans? Let's not go by the written literature, which is washing everything on us. We can live without borders.
I get, yeah,
we can live. Yes, we can live without borders because we are Africans. Can you imagine? In Africa is where you find your fellow African country demanding you for a visa to enter in their country. But when you talk about Europe, they have what we call Schengen visa, whereby someone from Belgium can go to Netherlands without any visa, even without any passport. So it is really so sad. We Africans, we are being washed. We are adapting what we call the literature, which is destroying our generations. And what I know is President Ramaphosa happened to be one day on street to cool the those ones who were demonstrating. One of the kings, I think he's called King Who, is one of the people who is supporting these people who are demonstrating. He came and wanted to have a handshake with President Ramaphosa. Is it Ramaphosa?
Yeah.
And President refused. Why? Because he's a traditionalist and he has a lot of people who are following him. He's the one even instilling that. That is total stupidity. I want to tell all Africans, this is our time. We need to go back and revise what our African grandparents used to do. You know, those people, like our grandparents used to have what we call togetherness. Remember, they could eat all together. They could have everything all together. But at this moment, we have read a lot of literature which is dividing us. You can imagine now, you are South Africa and Uganda, and you be attacked by a Ugandan, which is totally so bad. I thank President of the Republic of Uganda.
Yes.
There is one of our fellow journalists who received a call. Of course, he was also talking about that xenophobia which is happening in South Africa. But the peace and liberty which is in Uganda, we shall take the correct measures. But these are our brothers, these are our sisters who are here, who are also surviving. Because if you want to say that you want to chase the South African businesses which are here, talk about the MTN. MTN is a business from South Africa. We have ShopRite. a lot which I'm not going to mention. But of course, we don't want to do it. Uganda received the first batch of Ugandan repatriates who came. There were 270, and we are expecting more people to come. So I just pray for all the fellow Africans who are in South Africa who are facing a lot of things to pray and of course believe that we are Africans. And I pray all the South Africans who are doing this. Remember, South Africa didn't get independence alone. It had its independence because of the neighbors.
I get you. Yes. Basing on that, as we get the climax of the podcast on the issue of xenophobia, what has the government done? Because when you say President Ramaphosa of South Africa doesn't like is against xenophobia and is the head of state, what has he put in place? Because remember in 2016, remember what happened with President Museveni, happened with the king of
Rwenzururu. Yes,
he showed the power that I'm the president of the nation, because President Ramaphosa has the capacity to silence but is silent about this. Just coming to the media saying please stop, which cannot happen. And besides, after President Ramaphosa, what has other African countries, governments put in place, like to have an equal and fair ground?
Yes. What you need to know is, what I know, presidents of the states of Africa have not just kept quiet.
Yes.
They have, just like as I know, His Excellency President of the Republic of Uganda, I am told he had a call. He called the President Ramaphosa. All presidents of all the states have reached out, but I think according to what I see, it feels like the state of South Africa is being captured. It's being captured. Yeah. What is moving and okay, like this is more what we are hearing and what we are hearing on ground. We are told there is a white supremacy which is in want to overthrow the government of South Africa. But this is just a mere say, so we are not sure of it.
Yes.
But what I need to do is, if you are president, then you are father of all nations. You are father of all nationals and non-nationals.
Yes.
So what we need to call upon President Ramaphosa, you are still in power. You need to act as a president. You need to pick all people. But what is really, I think, what I need to know is, I think President Ramaphosa may be out of control, because now you're even seeing the soldiers helping those ones demonstrating. Is helping the army is helping those ones who are demonstrating to work. So it means if the army in a country participate in such acts and such everything, then it means your state is not in your hands. So I call upon the African heads of states.
Yes.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, I think you are almost the older father of all the heads of states.
Yes.
President William Ruto of the Republic of Kenya, President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, and all presidents, be it East Africa, Central Africa, and everything. You need to calm this issue of South Africa
and call upon African Union.
But I don't believe in even African Union, because you have seen what has been happening. Talk about the Jabakus in the Western Africa, which have been attacking people. Nothing like Western Africans' intervention. Talk about what happened in Congo, in between of the Rwanda and the M23 clash. Where did we have NSA with the AU? So I think AU is just a seminar of people who just go and eat food, because now you cannot just look at what South Africa is going through and you just keep quiet. What you need to know is, I'm told most of the South Africans don't work.
They don't
work. So it is these foreign nationals, that the people from Uganda, people from Nigeria, people from Gabon, people when they reach there, that the people who open these retail shops and are the people who do all the works. South Africans only want the works of contracts and everything. Okay. So it's going to economically, it's going to create a gap in the economy of the South Africa. Secondly, we as journalists and we as analysts, we need now probably to dig so deep to know what is behind this protest. Because what you need to know is, yeah, we are here in Uganda, we are speaking about it, but there is a certain Nigerian or there is a certain Ghanaian national who is suffering, who is hiding right now in South Africa. Reason being, he fears that he's going to be killed. There is a Rockam Shackled lady, I've just forgotten the name. She's very stupid. She's the one who started this movement. And I'm happy that there is also one man who was also shot. He was killed because he was also part of this protest. I call upon President Ramaphosa to come up with arms if these protesters are overcrowding the cities. Get the arm of the government to go for them, because you cannot kill your fellow
That's the best
Africans.
option. That's the best option.
Yes, please.
Briefly, let's have a hold on the xenophobia issue, and we cross briefly in a time of 3 minutes.
Okay.
Because the time that Kenneth Sasson, we talk about the political journey we are switching to, because we have seen from LC5 chairperson in the district, Bali district,
Yeah.
we are switching to MP Yala, South Africa Legislative Assembly.
Yeah.
Why? Tell us the transition and how far have you gone?
What you need to know in life is that when you fail in one aspect,
Yes.
you should not always stop there. You should always strive for other things. Personally or individually, in the period of like 5 years back, since I finished the high school, since I finished the university, I have been that young man who has been wanting to change my society, to change my community, and to do everything. So I personally coming to protest for mayorship, Bali District Chairman LC5. I had dreams. And I had everything to change the district. But however, people didn't trust me at that moment. I think I still have a chance to come back next time, or maybe to go and serve in another place. I had probably done a lot of consultations. I have really I've really dig deep, and I'm now in the stages. Even right now, I'm going to South Africa. I'm going to Tanzania. We have a mission there. Why? I'm doing this because I'm doing my campaign. I'm now looking at ASACO, which is going to be working with Emmanuel Wadiaura. I'm looking at this young African journalist, humanitarian journalist, father, God-loving person who is wanting to bring the real sense of leadership in Africa. Me wanting to go in East African Legislative Assembly. Probably, first of all, I want to bring this sense of involvement of the youth. What you need to know is youth have not been involved that much in the politics of the region, whereby the all are the people who are participating. And we have this refurbished, new, innovative skills we have acquired in school. We have acquired in this generation. What we need to do is, the elders should embrace us. The elders should use us. And I call upon people, the Parliament of Uganda, to vote the young people like us to go and represent them in the East African Legislative Assembly, so that we can law. I personally, I have a dream of making the youth or the Gen Z to be involved in the politics of the region. Secondly, we want to bring the sense of good leadership in the region, whereby a youth will know that maybe I still have time to do what? To participate in the politics. So we should preach the word or the gospel of togetherness, the gospel of everything. So those are the points which are making me to go for the year. At the moment, we are almost done with everything, but I'm just left with some few things. Financially, I call upon people who are ready to support me in this. I will call upon people who want to stand with me. I am your son, Emmanuel Wadiaura, from Eastern Uganda, Mbale. who is wanting to go heights, to change the world through the art of politics. Remember me, I'm a journalist by profession. I have loved, I have learned, I have known each and every aspect of an individual, of a common man. So I'm a better representation of what? Of a Wanawiji in the East African Legislative Assembly. Thank you.
So does your viewers, to whoever's watching us and whoever still watch us, we promise you that we're back big and better. Live in HD and in HD. Every time we're going to be here talking with you, discussing with you. We promise to give you all the best, and you, what we ask from you is your commitment.
Thank you very much for hosting me today, Paul. I appreciate for everything. What we need to do is we are going to always be on set. We are going to always be talking about developmental things. We shall be always bringing businesses and everything. So I thank you, all the viewers. You can follow me on my socials, TikTok, Emmanuel Wadiaula, on Facebook, Emmanuel Wadiaula Vibanas, Uganda. Twitter or X, I'm called Emmanuel Wadiaula, and everything. What we need to do is Africa first, Uganda first, and our whole world first. Thank you very much. We love you so much. Have a good evening.
That has been all for today. Until you see us again.
We see you.
Stay locked.